Hi. Yeah, that was a bit of a strange transition, but here we are. We're live. It's the Bo No Show. I am Bo. Welcome in. A little bit earlier than the last two nights that I've been doing this. Man, what a crazy time to be alive. Whew. I got equipment in the mail for this, so hopefully we'll be up and running full steam ahead here in the next couple of weeks. God forbid. In the meantime, so much stuff is happening. I mean, record-breaking day for COVID. 2 days in a row here in the USA. It's going to keep going up. Absolute nonsense. Let's waste no time. I want to get into probably the big story of the day. And that is Jenna Marbles. And I forgot to go to my split screen here for everything. Let's transition over. Yeah! Jenna Marbles, blackface. She's stepping away from YouTube. It's a big hit. I'm familiar with her from years ago, and essentially she was parodying Nicki Minaj. I faintly remember this video from years ago, but it doesn't really register. But essentially, she is stepping away for the big reaction that she got for her post. Let's see if I can get this. Why is this not working for me? That's not what I want. Sorry, I am still getting used to figuring out this computer. And can I do this? No. Oh, fuck. My bad. Hey, there we go. Alright. There she is. Jenna Marbles addresses past problematic videos and announces she will move on from her YouTube channel. Let's see what that video was. Here is the video.
It's Nicki Minaj.
Ooh! Well... well, you might be in trouble. You might be in problem.
Person to date because there's so many of me. Because there's plain Nicki Minaj, and that's me. And then there's Roman, who's very. And then there's Martha, who's Roman's mother. She's very proper. And she lives in the UK, which has absolutely nothing to do with anything at all.
Alright. Yeah. You know what? Do we dare continue any further? Because this isn't good. This is not good. This is bad. She's Ariana Grande.
And then there's Barbie, that's a very high-pitched soft voice, who's very like, yum, 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 that's roast beef curtains on your face. Do you want to taste? Because I'll suck your dick through outer space. People have a hard time understanding who I am. Because sometimes I don't even know who I am. I don't even know who I am. No.
You're a white girl doing...
My last name is Minaj, so a lot of people think that I want to date a woman, but I don't. I want a motherfucking monster cock. So in order to date me, you know, I need a man, a real man.
Where'd the Brooklyn accent come from? Just all of a sudden, just a Brooklyn accent for no good reason. All right.
First of all, you have to be able to handle that ass, because you know I be packing. Do you like the way I drop it, Daddy? I said, do you like it? I need someone that knows that I'm like 6 different people and how to please all of them. Nicki likes the Minaj. Like that. Martha likes to be treated like a lady. That feels.
Oh, that's not my lady.
Barbie likes to be dominated. Roman really likes to get kinky. I said fuck me harder.
Oh! 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 This guy's so much worse. This got so much worse. Oh my God. Who could stand for this? Good thing you're standing away.
So until I find a man that can handle me, you know, all of me, I'm gonna be alone. And so keep rapping about things that don't really make sense, but I'll use a lot of emphasis so people really like it. Because I'm a badass bitch. Just like your mother. If you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Wednesday. Whee! Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? We had a pillow in her butt. I want to show the pillow in her butt. Look at this pillow in her butt.
You heard it here, folks. She had fun. She had fun. She had a pillow over her butt. Whew. Jenna Marbles, we will see you down the road. Oh, this thing. This upset me. This upset me well. And I think it should upset you as well. It upset me well, and it should upset you as well. I'm trying. I'm trying here. I'm new at this. Something happened where I lost all of my links that I had. Had them all in a row. Had them all to show you. This is what you get for being unprepared, folks. Got a lot of good stuff for you today. Not really. It's pretty much all awful. All right. Whew. Elijah McClain. That's right, Elijah McClain. If you are unfamiliar at this point, that is kind of on you. Let me refocus this. All right. Am I on here right? Yep. Okay. Let's watch this. I heard about this case a while back. Didn't know much about it, but I watched the video for the first time, probably about 30 minutes before I decided to go on, and this is pretty fucking awful. I didn't watch all of it. I kind of wanted to save most of it, but man.
This is a death that we first covered in August of last year. But recently, there's been a lot of national scrutiny in this case. Using body camera footage from that night, 9 months to know investigator Chris Vanderveen walks us through the critical aspects of what happened.
Elijah McClain was 23 years old, 5'7". He weighed 140 pounds. On the night of August 24th of last year, a man called 911.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
A little after 10:30 p.m.
He's walking south on Billing Street. He has a mask on.
Okay. Were any weapons involved or mentioned?
No.
Okay.
At 10:43 p.m., Aurora police officers spot the man in the mask. In less than a half hour, McClain will be in the back of an ambulance, receiving CPR.
Hey, stop right there.
So you got your police were approaching. A kid just walking down the street. Not looking in cars, not, no bullshit. Just a kid walking. Just a kid walking.
Stop. 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 I have a right to stop you because you're being...
I hate to stop this, but, I have headphones on right now, and I walk a lot of times outside with headphones. We don't know. He might have had headphones in. But, within seconds, he's got no reason to think, hey, the cops are stopping me. I'm just walking in this neighborhood. I'm walking with an iced tea for my brother. And that's what he had. I think they said that in this video. But he was walking home, kind of a socially awkward kid. I hate to say it, but it's stigmatized in the black community, but he may have been autistic. That's kind of the sense that I've gotten. I don't know, and I don't want to speak out of turn. That was probably wrong of me. But he's not your kid that's outgoing and a suspect or of any kind. He's just he keeps to himself. That's the vibe and the story.
Suspicious.
In order to better understand this story, you should know a few things. One, within 19 seconds of making contact, this happened.
No, let go of me. No, I am an introvert. Please respect the boundaries that I am speaking.
Stop tensing up.
Stop.
Relax.
Stop. I'm going home.
Relax, or I'm going to have to change this situation. Stop.
Leave me alone.
Stop.
Can you please? No, can you leave me alone?
Keep in mind, at this point, McLean had committed no crime.
None.
As body cameras and officers and McLean fall to the ground, one officer says this.
Grab your gun, dude. Stop, dude.
You can't exactly see what happens next, but based on the audio, it's clear this is the moment officers apply what's known as a carotid hold on McLean's neck.
Give us some more units. We're fighting them.
The local district attorney reports at this point, McLean loses consciousness briefly. At 10:45 p.m., or a little more than 2 minutes after police made contact with him.
2 minutes. 2 minutes after police made contact. 2 minutes. Oh, I'm getting fucking mad watching this shit. This is fucking.
McLean is talking.
My name's Elijah McLean.
He's saying his name. He wants to identify himself and let him know. Let these officers know. He's not a threat. He's. Fuck. What the fuck, man?
That's what I was doing. I was just going home.
8 minutes will pass with McLean handcuffed down to the ground, occasionally throwing up, occasionally causing officers to say this.
Thank God.
And then at 10:54 p.m., with McLean still on the ground, an officer says this.
So when the ambulance gets here, we're going to go ahead and give him some ketamine. Yeah, sounds perfect, dude. Perfect. Let's give that a couple of minutes and then we'll put him on. Whatever he's on, he has.
He's on nothing!
Yeah, crazy strength.
1 minute before 11 p.m., McLean receives 500 milligrams of ketamine, an anesthetic. An autopsy will suggest McLean had a therapeutic level in his blood. In other words, not enough in the mind of the coroner to kill him.
It looks like it's starting to kick in.
7 minutes later,
He just poured. Are you serious? Yeah.
responding officers are told McLean in the back of an ambulance has no pulse. He would be revived, but 3 days later, doctors would remove life support for the brain-dead 23-year-old. Chris Vanderveen, 9 News.
Okay. Yeah, for you guys.
The overwhelming
What the fuck? I don't know why the fuck I played that. That is, that is just... I am... Fuck. I personally waited, I personally waited a few weeks to watch the George Floyd video. I saw the thumbnail, obviously. I saw the picture of Derek Chauvin on George Floyd's neck, and that was one where I didn't need to see the video personally to know that that dude was straight up murdered. But God, that is just, people have been making all excuses that they want of, he should have just resisted, oh, don't pass a phony bill or just comply with the police. But I don't know how. Like, I know that there's not many people that didn't watch the George Floyd video and didn't see a murder. I know that there's a lot of, and I know that 99% of people saw it, but wow, that is and that wasn't the full extent of it, but I gotta go back again. Oh, did I delete it? I sure did. Wow, that poor kid. That was a, I kind of want to take a second just to collect my thoughts and, and, that's just.
The seats have been chosen, and the bracket is set.
I'm in it.
Bracket is set.
Sorry. That was the next thing that was on the list of things to show. Definitely a little bit more lighthearted. Fuck. Oh, learning mistakes. By the way, if you'd like to host this, I just want to co-host it, or finance it. I got gear now. Come join the madness. Whew. That was sorry. One of the people that we're going to be discussing later on in this show that I've got, well, actually a couple people, they're going to give, I feel like, pretty insincere responses towards some serious accusations, and I just hope people notice the difference, and we can call this bullshit out, because I don't know how those guys got away with killing that kid. All right, lighter news. Lighter news. There is a show now. TBS. Yeah, TBS. It is called Tournament of Champions. And let me tell you, this is incredibly cringy.
The seats have been chosen, and the bracket is set.
I'm in it.
Just March Madness. It's just a March Madness bracket. That's all it is, folks.
To win it. Wait, what do we win?
Be there with host
Nothing.
when TBS turns comedy into a sport.
I was never good at sports.
32 comedians will perform and go head-to-head in bracket-style comedy matchups, including Beth Stelling versus Jeff Ross.
Let's do some couples.
Let's do some fucking 15-year-olds. How are they advertising him? How is all of this still... Jeff Ross openly was fucking really young girls in LA, in New York for years. And he's the face of the shit. It's this weird in crowd that you can get away with it.
Yoga. Honey, I started the video.
Ian Edwards versus Margaret Cho.
What time is the zoo open? I was so hungry.
The Sklarp.
I hate to stop it again, but if you go and watch the entire Margaret Cho thing, it's just her doing an accent of her mom. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do accents, but if you weren't entertained by that 3 seconds of her, it's just that. That's all she does. It's really bad.
Brothers versus Yamanika Saunders.
Back in my day, we had to poop on the ground just like the dog. Us and the dog pooping on the ground, looking around.
And more.
Don't ever come in the shower with me.
Who will rise to the occasion?
I hate you.
Who will triumph?
After starts wearing a dental dam.
Who could go all the...
I mean, all of your comedy heroes are here. Christina P., Beth Sterling, Triumph the Cowardly Dog from fucking 15 years ago. You know, I mean, 20 years ago. Shit, at this point. I mean, Yamanika Saunders, like they said. Jeff Ross, the rapist. Whew. You know, I have wanted to see all of these A-list comedians vie for whatever the fuck this is.
You heard that? That is good stuff.
Don't bracket if you can't hack it.
Tournament of Laughs. The competition begins Sunday at 10 on TBS. To play along, go to tournamentoflaughs.com and download your bracket right now. The seats have been chosen.
I would love to know. How many people have gone to do that. Clearly, it's one of those, bullshit sites where, I didn't even look at the board or who else is involved. I just saw the Margaret Cho clip somewhere earlier and was disgusted. It's subjective. You all know this. Oops. All right. Found this article earlier. I look it up on my phone. It was the funny quote that I saw in this from a gentleman. White Minneapolis residents won't call cops on homeless camping park. And there's one fella in here who gets his car stolen and had a very interesting take on all of this. My apologies. I said I was going to have this up on my phone earlier so I could read it to you. Let's take some time to make sure that I can read, even though I don't have glasses and this is an odd key. Alright. God damn. Minneapolis neighborhood has been overrun by a homeless encampment. I'm an idiot. By a homeless encampment. It's grown to as many as 300 people amid an agreement among protesters, while residents do not call the police, according to a new report. God, New York Post, stop bringing up your fucking shitty pop-ups. This is the one I want to find. Discuss. Mitchell Erickson resorted to calling police last week when he was cornered outside his home by two youths, one of whom pointed a gun at his chest while demanding his car keys. Now, after he unwittingly handed over a set of house keys, the boys became frustrated, then fled, and they sold a different car down the street. Now, initially, Erickson, who lives a block from the park, told the Times that dialing 911 was the right thing to do. But a couple days later, he said he regretted it. Been thinking more about it, he texted the Times. I regret calling the police. It was my instinct, but I wish it hadn't been. I put those boys in danger of death by calling the cops. Alright. we can all agree that Black Lives Matter. But there is a difference between being carjacked and, carjacked at gunpoint. They put themselves in danger at that point. I'm not saying that even if they're arrested that they should be taken down in a lethal manner. Of course not. We all have our day in court. But we do have to find a middle ground, everybody. We realize this is not going to be a permanent solution, so we are asking the city of Minneapolis, Hennepin County, and the state of Minnesota to step up and find a sustainable, dignified housing solution for folks who are experiencing homelessness right now, said Park Board President Jono Cowgill in a statement. But in the meantime, we're not going to push people out of public spaces when they have nowhere else to go. I totally agree with that. We've got enough homes and abodes for everyone. So, I just found it interesting in this article. The white Minneapolis residents won't call cops on homeless camp and park on the New York Post. I'm just saying. There's a difference between, calling the police because of a $20, bill that you think might, in fact, be counterfeit, and calling the police because you were carjacked or an attempted carjacking at gunpoint. So, thought that was pretty good. Oh, heavens. Have we reached that time? I always plan on talking for a lot longer, but alas, it goes quicker than you think. So I'm going to take a few minute break here, maybe get myself set up with a better system of partaking in some vitamins, and we're going to check out a wrestling match from 3-2-1 Battle, because they are definitely still a thing, and no one in this match has been accused of any sexual misconduct of any kind, and it's unlike all the powers that be in Washington and Oregon don't know this, but but I guess a lot of them are too sick, deciding who's going to cut their hair on Patreon. So once again, here is a rapist versus rapist match. Who is the biggest rapist? We will be back in just a few minutes for the second half, the longer half. It's a longer second act here on the Bo Knows Show with me, Bo.
This first match is in singles competition. Is set for one fall. And it's for the Solid Steel Championship.
Starting off with a betting knockout.
challenger, hailing from Everett, Washington, the Black Sheep, Dave Turner. To my right, hailing from Nashville, Tennessee, your solid steel champion, your referee for this title match, Chris Samuel.
Already, Dave Turner has been running through everyone. Steve West has been using whatever underhand tactics he can to hold on to that championship. But tonight, God, maybe tonight, this is different. This is Dave Turner.
Combatants, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, battalion, are you ready? So we're gonna be the same of each other. 3, 2, 1.
With the toll of the bell, Steve West, the underhand tactic, the sound European uppercut champion. Surprisingly enough, Steve West getting the momentum out of the gate here, Ray.
Well, here's the thing. That can happen when facing Dave Turner, but it doesn't last long.
I'm surprised Steve West just kind of unloading on Turner here. Wait, Turner's still in the corner.
Steve West seemed to have an answer for everything.
Series of boots. Here, kick by the scoundrel. He's got to be thinking European uppercut. Steve West again laying in with a series of chops and uppercuts.
You're right, Cody. I think you're right.
My apologies. That's right, King of the Rapists. That's right, in under 2 minutes, Dave Turner beat the other rapist.
Need an online video? If you're a doer like Peter.
All right. Well, we're back with the Bo No Show. So far, hey, it's 3 episodes in, and it's gone terribly. And that's for sure. You know, don't have all the gear yet. So, you know, it's been in shipping through COVID, but got enough of it to start up now, so that is cool. Would love, oh, my bad, to feature this nice young gal next year on the Bo No Show. We're going to learn a lot about wearing masks during our COVID season. I can't talk anymore about life. It's bullshit. I've become stupid. It's alright. Not as dumb as this broad.
This is a personal service announcement and a public apology to all the brothers and sisters who I'm triggering by this news. I want to start off this video by letting everyone know that I do not have a mask. I do not own a mask. I haven't bought a mask, and I have no plans to buy a mask.
In short, I am taking every bit of credible news and saying, I'm gonna wipe my ass with it.
Now, if and when they make wearing masks federal law, then I suppose in order not to get locked up, I'll put one of these suckers on as well, just so that I won't be harmed.
But I will go kicking and screaming all the goddamn way.
By not wearing it. But until then, I've chosen not to. Now, if me not wearing a mask makes you judge me, I forgive you. If me not wearing a mask makes you nervous about your own health, I pray for you. And if me not wearing a mask upsets you, then I want to ask you, why? Why? Isn't it kind of similar to the whole vaccine
Oh, my bad.
argument, right?
No, it's not even remotely close to the vaccine argument, miss. It's not at all. You're Looney Tunes.
People who are mad about people who don't get vaccines, I don't understand, because if you got the vaccine and your faith is in the vaccine, then me not having the vaccine should do nothing to you. Why?
Not how it fucking works, bitch.
Isn't that the reason you got the vaccine? Shouldn't I be the one who's nervous if I don't have a vaccine?
Yes, you should be nervous about about not having the vaccine. But once again, it's not how it fucking works.
About my own health instead of the people who do, because that's why you got it, to stay safe. Yes, that's the same way I feel about these masks. Hallelujah. Everyone is right and no one is wrong. But I know one thing. I don't feel...
No, bitch. You are very much wrong. You were very fucking wrong, bitch.
like walking around like I'm out of a scene from The Purge just because the government told me to, and I don't feel no way sick and I'm not no way scared about nothing.
All right. The Purge, you know, they were all wearing clown masks and doing clown shit. You know, wearing an N95 mask is not even remotely close to being, Purge-like. You know, I mean, if y'all know who E-Frog is, which is shout out E-Frog, I'm gonna get it to you, buddy, eventually. Have you ever heard of E-Frog? That is a gentleman who wore an Alex Jones mask into a city courthouse, saying that was going to be his COVID protection. The dude's an innovator, and I'm not gonna have any problems with the E-Frog, but it's same goddamn logic, just utter lack of respect for other people, science, and it's just an idiot.
Ashe, that doesn't mean I'm out here going out kissing folks in the mouth that I don't know who said they just got corona.
No one does that!
What it does mean is that I'm not going to change the way that I do things that make me feel comfortable.
You should!
So that everyone else can feel comfortable during this crazy period of uncomfortability. So again, this is a public service announcement to all of those who are triggered by anyone around you, not in hysteria, not afraid, not nervous, and not wearing masks and gloves as they get their produce, asking you for your forgiveness. And also encouraging your own confidence that the choices you're making about your health and immunity are going to be honored by the God that you serve, and I will be well. Same way with me, because I have an immune
is no
system that I trust. I have a God that I know, and I have a body that I'm aware of, so that if things are going wrong with it, I am the first to take care of it. On a shamanic, natural healing level. I want us all to be well, but I also want us to be whole, and I want us to have pure hearts full of love. So again, if you are a mask wearer, and you see someone without one, offer them your love and understanding and forgiveness, and be confident and sure that you will be well, and stop harassing folks and judging folks and getting mad at folks who trust in their own immunity, their own relationship with God, and their own common sense about what makes them comfortable and feel okay. Again, this is a public service announcement for all God's children, reminding you that all is well, nothing has gone wrong, everything's going right, no matter what happens, even if we leave this life, it was the plan this year, regardless, no matter what. And
I need WD-40. That is a lot to unpackage. But, you know, 125,000 dead. Not too bad a number, is it? I mean, like, honestly, shouldn't it be more? Like, thinking about it. Think about all the shitty people that have been exposed in the last few weeks. Like, aren't you kind of wishing it had been like 650,000 people? We should maybe be taking this lady's advice. We're all going to go out there. No masks. Free reign. I mean, we're not going to kiss strangers. That would be ridiculous. That would be nonsense. That would be absolute buffoonery, as some would say. Yeah. I am a price. Iama, maybe. I don't fucking care. This bitch is stupid. Let's finish this out.
nothing under any name, including Corona, can extend or shorten your days on this planet if you are a believer in the Almighty God and know that even the hairs on your head are numbered just like your days.
There are absolutely tons of things that can number your days. Vicious. You know what? If I follow God and I start smoking crystal meth, I have the same number of days. It just makes sense. I watched I Am Price on Facebook. She said the same damn thing. I know it's true. I believe.
So fear not, know all is well. We're all where we're supposed to be. I'm not wearing a mask, and if you are, I love you, and because I'm not, forgive me. Ashe, we're going to get through this together. Until then, stay safe. Peace.
There are black Karens in this world. Never forget that. Maybe mixed race. I don't know. I don't care. That lady's a fucking bitch. Or if I'm misgendering, whomever. They are a fucking repulsive bitch. With a terrible opinion. I mean, I even will, if you just say, hey, I can't wear the mask, it's uncomfortable to breathe, and, I feel like I'm going to pass out and everything. Let you slide and everything. I mean, probably shouldn't be out in public, but this is a crazy time. I think there was 125,250 American deaths last time I looked earlier this morning or this afternoon. I mean, there's 330 million Americans. Let's factor in there's probably about 8 to 12 million illegal immigrants. In terms of having no documents, probably another 3 or 4 that have overstayed visas and whatnot. Just 350 million Americans, people that are here. We've had 2 1/3 test positive for coronavirus on 30 million tests. Obviously, we're at the biggest, the highest testing percentage at this point. You know, we don't know how many people had it in, you know, January, February, March. That'll round out in the, you know, we'll find out in the, I don't know, it's what, like probably 18, 24 months for those like deaths, you know, trackers to come in and show. But the carelessness of this video, and this is a pretty goddamn recent video if I recall. I think it was from mid-May. Oh shit, maybe I can look it up. But just Adrian's Corner. Oh shit, this was posted today. This was posted today. There was like 40. I was even giving this bitch fucking credit for being like, you know. I thought that this had been out a while. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to. Either way, we can do research later. You know, don't take my word for it. But this was posted to this website today. I saw it on Facebook from yesterday. It was posted, so it's a new video probably, and I mean, I don't. What country are we fighting for? I mean, it feels like over half of our country just ignores basic science. I'm getting too worked up. I'm getting too frustrated. We don't need to vent for too long. We need to move on. There's other more awful things. Less. They're all awful. Woo! Hey. Have you recently had a close friend accused of over 25, incidents of soliciting a minor for, sex? No? Good. The Fighter and the Kid. Emotional reaction to Chris D'Elia accusations. Chris D'Elia has been in trouble. And guess what? If you ever wondered, years to come, this will be taught in the how not to respond to my friend might be a pedophile. It'll be in the handbook at least.
I think, Brennan, we have to at least talk about this. You guys, if you follow the news, if you're
unaware, this is The Fighter and the Kid. It's a podcast. This on the left is the kid. Yes, the old gentleman on the left who they will explain why he has the shades on. He had an eyelid, cosmetic procedure done. He's very Hollywood. That's Brian Callen of Mad TV from the mid late 90s. On Wikipedia, it says he's Joe Rogan's half brother. He's not. And then the nice gentleman on the right, the large adult child, is Brendan Schaub, former college football player, former UFC heavyweight, former UFC Tough Enough contestant. That's where he was on. He was on the Kimbo Slice season, if you recall. He fought. He didn't beat Stipe Miocic. He beat Mirko Krokop. That was his big win, was Mirko Krokop, and then he got fucked up by Travis Brown, who he was dating now Travis's wife Ronda Rousey at the time, or at some point in that time frame. So, but Crystalia, obviously accused of soliciting many minors for sexual acts. I'm gonna message a 16-year-old girl and let's make out. A couple of girls that said that they were minors have that they did have sexual relationships when it was illegal. So and Delia's response has been dog shit. I probably should have gotten it because I think he posted some email chain earlier today, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. But here was the fighter and the kids' emotional response, and this is from their YouTube. They were close friends. Brian Callen, on the left, of course, from Mad TV, hosted the 10-minute podcast with Will Sasso and Crystalia. Crystalia was a frequent guest, would sit in, I think, when both of them, either Brendan or Brian, were out. So I know that I've stumbled upon episodes and clips of them. This is a pretty awful show with the two of these, but sometimes with a guest it can be tolerable, but mostly a hate watch. But this is not how to respond to a close friend, former coworker for both of them, how not to respond to pedophilia allegations.
We're alive. If you've been following this Twitter thing the way we have, you know what's going on with our friend Chris. I'm not, in these situations, people in Hollywood tell you what to say. And I said to Brennan, what we can do is tell the truth. And I'm not going to sit here. I'm a man, and I define myself on how I respond to these situations in real time when the pressure's really on. And so this is what I'll say.
Yeah, I'm a real man who at 50 years old, divorced my wife, kicked my kids out of the house. A couple years later, I'm getting cosmetic surgery. I'm younger. It's the fighter and the kid. Realize the fighter is on the left, the kid is on the left. Or the fighter is on the right, the kid is on the left. The kid is on the left.
I always knew Chris as a ladies' man. I have never, and I'm going to say this, I have never seen or heard of him doing anything illegal, ever. This is as shocking to me as I'm watching this happen. I don't know what to think, and I don't know what to say. I don't. But I'm going to say it again. I have personally never heard or seen him do anything illegal. That's all I can say.
That is a very interesting way of phrasing it. I've never heard or seen him do anything illegal. Phrasing it that way, leads to hey, I heard he hit up a girl in, I don't know, such and such state that has a lower age of consent than maybe California or, in my case, Oregon, where I live. I heard that he. I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know. I heard that he got with a girl that was 17 in Missouri, but that was in Missouri where it's legal, or say Canada was 16. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's I never heard him or saw him do anything illegal. Because leaves it open.
And right now I have to believe that because he's still a friend. and it may be unpopular to say that.
After this came out, Brian deleted every post that involved him on his Instagram. It was like 45 or 50 posts. Any mention of him on Twitter, gone.
But I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do, and I'm not going to be some. I just think it's an impossible situation, and I'm just at a loss. I'm at a loss, and I'm praying that what I'm hearing isn't true. Maybe that's the best way to put it.
I can't talk.
It's just.
I'm sorry. It's really not appropriate, but there's just I hate to do this to you guys, but we'll be one of those people. Let's watch we could watch the whole way through, but the last 18 seconds of just watch Brendan on the right side. Watch his body language up there. It's terrible.
Situation, and
he's gonna start crying.
I'm just at a loss. I'm at a loss, and I'm praying that what I'm hearing isn't true. Maybe that's the best way to put it.
I can't talk.
It's just, it's like, it's a weird thing because I said to Brendan, I said it's like it's like watching someone die or something.
This is literally like the reaction back and forth me and my father had when my mother died. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just I understand being upset and feeling betrayed by a friend, but this is a fucking weird way to respond for both of these fellas.
And also, it's what's important is that we haven't spoken to Chris.
No.
And we've never been on the road with him. I was on the road with him about 14 years ago once. When he was, just beginning, but I've never been on the road with him.
You can look up, I could send you the link. Brian Callen, Chris D'Elia, I think it was like Arizona or something, where, it's obviously one of those like fake setup things where Chris, comes up on stage while Brian here is doing a comedy set and crashes the show. They toured together. There was an old Rogan where they discussed being on the road together. They hosted a podcast together. Brian here on the left is acting like it's a fella he barely knew, and he's just surprised, that a work ally who happened to have the next podcast studio over to the left of them, right next door, shooting on the same day right after each other. Always seeing each other at the Comedy Store every night, They never hung out. And then Brendan on the right here is going to say something pretty crazy coming up. It's a pretty much an admonishment of I knew what was up. I might be reading a little too much into it, but I think it's pretty clear. Everyone knew. It was a known secret, and they're probably involved to a degree. There have been claims that have been unsubstantiated. I tend to try not to go off of too much Twitter rumor and innuendo, but when you make a one of those I'm guilty, but don't call me guilty plea deals. I'm more in line to try to burn you at the stake and crucify you at the cross.
So I don't know. I don't know what to think, and I don't know. And that's what's so frustrating.
I'm just sad.
Yeah.
Sad. I don't.
So anyway. Yeah. Sometimes that's the best.
Look
thing
at
it's just,
Brian's body language now. The folded arms, the it's just. I'm sad. This is not how. This is nothing about, hey. I just keep picking topics that upset me to talk about. These damn people. They're just. It's almost like they're just going, okay, what do I say to make people stop digging and not look into what have I done? Oh, God. Really need that WD-40.
say I don't know what to say, and I'm just I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a fucked up thing.
I can talk.
Fuck. Well, that's appropriate. That's appropriate right now. You can just pray that that nothing's true.
Because no matter what the facts are, whatever comes out, I'm as shocked as anyone. I'm hurt. I'm mad.
If you're new to the Fighter and the Kid, this is your first foray into them through listening to me. Brendan is always bringing it back to him, making it about him. He got out of UFC after a podcast with Rogan and Callan, where Rogan eviscerated him about his fighting and his fight with Travis Brown. So, but ever since then, he's been full bore into being a stand-up comic. Really, really terrible stand-up special last year. Don't take my word for it. You know. Sorry. Check out any review site. It's pretty atrocious, including a really. Brendan Schaub there on the right really condemned Shane Gillis when he was fired from Saturday Night Live for making a decently inappropriate Asian joke, but just, I mean, it's still a tolerable joke. Well, I don't want to say that, goddamn. If you understand what I mean, it wasn't an over the line. Basically, I'm trying to say it was a PG joke. Brendan Schaub, in his special, makes a joke about an Asian doctor for the UFC who has no accent. There's many videos you can look of this gentleman who has no accent speaking, and then in Brendan's special, when he mentions the doctor, doesn't name him, but it's the doctor that was there. He gives him just the worst, most offensive, stereotypical accent. So, you know, one person gets fired, one person gets a comedy special. So, you know, I'm just saying, double standards. But yeah, Brendan here in the last few seconds, they're gonna fade out, but just it's not a good look. Throwing their buddy under the bus. I'm gonna back up a few seconds. It's kind of rambled.
Or what the facts are, whatever comes out, I'm as shocked as anyone. I'm hurt. I'm mad. I'm fucking mad, man. I'm mad at him.
Okay.
That's it. Fade to black. Pretty fucking ridiculous. He said Brendan has a tendency of bringing it back to himself. And not to beat a dead horse, but this is only a minute. I've got it set up for another podcast. This is Andrew Santino right here. And Bobby Lee. They're both close friends of Chris D'Elia. Bobby and Chris go back probably at least a decade. Santino and D'Elia probably at least 5 or 6 years. Real close. They know each other. This is gonna be weird. We're gonna catch in at the end. They were doing a dead dad song back and forth to each other that they were trying to act like was spontaneous, but they were reading from a script clearly. So this is kind of them just talking about that, and then going into Bobby's going to bring up the Chris thing, and watch how defensive Santino here is.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah, ask DL.
Can you? We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about later. And then
DL Hugh, Jesus.
DL.
Bobby Lee, of course, also Mad TV with Brian Callen. The interworkings of the LA comedy scene and this weirdness that they all partake in. They're all guilty, folks.
Yeah. And then poured.
Then a massive injustice
George
that happened
Floyd
once again
died,
for the 1000th time.
And then last Tuesday something happened that was just as shocking and terrifying to me.
Same.
Just as shocking and just as terrifying. Same. What is in your closet? What is in your closet? Oh, these gentlemen, they're all hiding things. They're all evil. They're all bad. WD-40. First goddamn thing tomorrow. Has to happen. It wasn't an issue when I am fucking sitting there just playing Xbox by myself, being the loner that I am. But this will not stand. I know you can hear that squeak in the background. And if you can't, I still can. And I'm trying to think about this bullshit. Let's back that up again. So we were talking about dead fathers, George Floyd. Something last Tuesday happened that was just as shocking as police brutality that happened for the 1000th time, as Santino says. Oh no, I moved too far back. My apologies. I think we're good. But something happened last Tuesday, just as shocking and just as terrifying. And agreed. Not my words, theirs.
You're saying like it's not a real. Yeah. It's not real.
Yeah, ask DL.
Can you? We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about later. And then
DL Hugh, Jesus.
DL. And then poured.
Then a massive injustice
George
that happened
Floyd
once again
died,
for the 1000th time.
And then last Tuesday something happened that was just as shocking and terrifying to me.
Same.
I want people to know that I don't know what I don't know. The news that you received.
I don't know what I don't know, but I do know something. Okay, Bobby.
Tuesday is the same exact new information
that we received.
The exact same new information, because these are new allegations. We've heard probably other stuff before, but that wasn't the person that talked this time.
Yeah, we were not privy to any of that stuff and did not know, and we found out when you found out.
I think that that kind of behavior is abhorrent. I resent it. And
Bobby Lee, very famous for Oh no. My apologies.
Same exact
am sorry. We are. I lost my train of thought. Bobby Lee, very famous gentleman. He is quite famous for pulling out his wee-wee in front of unsuspecting folks. So, yeah, you know, good character witness here.
Who received Tuesday is the same exact new information
that we received.
That we received.
Yeah, we were not privy to any of that stuff and did not know, and we found out when you found out.
I think that that kind of behavior is abhorrent.
Pull my dick out, Bobby Lee.
And it's not good.
No, it was awful and shocking and very, quite frankly, taken us all aback. I mean, we called each other, and you know, you sit in disbelief because you don't know. We don't know this stuff, and we're finding this stuff out at the same time people are, and people are throwing.
I hate to do it, but I mean, Bobby has that look like, oh God, I don't want to check Twitter. Oh God, don't, oh God, I can't, don't make me check my Twitter. Oh God, am I trending yet? Oh, this is awful. Oh, Chris, why'd you get caught? Oh, fucking, you ruined it for all of us. Now we can't fuck 15-year-olds. Fuck you, Chris.
Kind of behavior is abhorrent. I resent it, and it's not good.
No, it was awful and shocking and very, quite frankly, taken us all aback. I mean, we called each other, and you know, you sit in disbelief.
What the fuck, Bobby? Why'd you fuck this up for us? Who else? Are we gonna have to kill somebody? Do you think this person might have beef with the Clintons? Fuck Chris, man. This is not how you go about this.
Because you don't know. We don't know this stuff, and we're finding this stuff out at the same time people are, and people are throwing around questions to everybody.
Terrible.
We don't know.
We haven't slept. I mean,
and what we know.
But why? What? I mean, like, I understand being upset, like, and being, you know, not supporting what your friend did. But why haven't you been able to sleep? This was filmed 2 or 3 days afterwards. Why haven't you been able to sleep, Bobby? Are you feeling some sort of guilt? Let's go back a bit.
Yeah, we were not privy to any of that stuff and did not know, and we found out when you found out.
I think that that kind of behavior is abhorrent. I resent it, and it's not good.
No, it was awful and shocking and very, quite frankly, taken us all aback. I mean, we called each other, and you know, you sit in disbelief because you.
Yeah, you sit in disbelief, and you know, you're kind of going, "Oh, how could that guy that I hang out with all the time, you know, a friend of mine that you know, I'm real close with, who you know, we were always at the party store, we're always filming podcasts together. You wonder how it could slip under your nose. He's got all these accusations of fucking kids. Alright, touching your nose. Let me see you, bitch. And let's, the next shot, of course, is Bobby Lee. Fucking put his goddamn hands in his head. It's over, bud. They're gonna find you eventually. They're coming.
You don't know. We don't know this stuff, and we're finding this stuff out of the same time people are, and people are throwing around
such a
questions to
fucking
everybody.
terrible-
We don't know.
We haven't slept. I mean,
and
it's
what
just-
we know now is we're. It's really disappointing. It's really sad, and I think all we can say is we hope he gets help, and that's it. And that's all we can say. I mean, I like.
We hope he gets help for being a pedophile.
You know.
That's all we can say. Yeah.
That's all we can
But
say.
we want to continue to do our bad friend show.
Woo! We want to continue to do the show, though. Can't we still do the show? We're just gonna. Hey, we have spent a total of 45 seconds. Jesus fucking Christ. We spent 45 seconds on Chris. Isn't that enough? Can we move on? Can we do the show? It's only a guy that, has appeared on my podcast multiple times, Whiskey Ginger. It's only someone who's appeared on a Tiger Belly with Bobby, a half dozen times. Only appeared on the podcast, 2 doors down, because his studio's right here. And then, Schaub and Callens from the last clip, they're right down the street. They're right there too. We spent 45 seconds though. Can't we just forget? Can't we just forget that Chris D'Elia ever existed? We'll do some, old school tribal chant where you whisper their name, you chant the name until it fades out. Chris D'Elia, Chris D'Elia, Chris D'Elia, Chris D'Elia, Chris D'Elia. It's been a week. It's time to move on. Can't we still be bad friends?
Can we do our bad friend show?
We want to do our bad friend show. Yeah.
And we started with the Dead Dad song, which I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 dads. I bragged to you very, very heavily about that.
But when you say that,
no, I
at first, because you've been saying that all day.
I only had one dad.
That was it.
I know your mom looks like a.
That's the transition out. Let's go back maybe. Fuck it. I got all the time in the world. So do you.
You're saying like it's not a real.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah, ask DL.
Can you?
Let's watch the whole goddamn thing over.
And then
DL, Jesus.
DL.
No stoppage.
And then for
then a massive injustice
George
that happened
Floyd
once again
died,
for the 1000th time.
And then last Tuesday something happened that was just as shocking and terrifying to me.
Yeah, same.
I want people to know that I don't know what I don't know. The news that you received Tuesday is the same exact new information that we received.
Yeah, we were not privy to any of that stuff and did not know, and we found out when you found out.
I think that that kind of behavior is abhorrent. I resent it, and it's not good.
No, it was awful and shocking and very, quite frankly, taken us all aback. I mean, we called each other, and you sit in disbelief because you don't know. We don't know this stuff, and we're finding this stuff out at the same time people are, and people are throwing around questions to everybody.
Terrible.
We don't know.
We haven't slept. I mean,
and what we know now is we're. It's really disappointing. It's really sad, and I think all we can say is we hope he gets help, and that's it. And that's all we can say. I mean, I like,
That's all we can say. Yeah.
But we want to continue to do our bad friend show. Can we do our Bad Friend show?
We want to do our Bad Friend show. Yeah.
And we started with the Dead Dad song, which I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 dads. I bragged to you very, very heavily about that.
But when you say that,
no, I
at first, because you've been saying that all day.
I only had one dad.
I know you're.
Thoughts and prayers. That was painful. Ah! Oh, wow. That's fine. Well, I was having a lot of fun. I ran out of things to talk about. Wow. Hey. I'm glad that you probably didn't check out the first couple episodes of this, but I feel like this one went a little bit better. Still stumbled over some words. Still, you know, we're gonna get better. But if you stuck around at all, if you watched it all, thank you. Please give me feedback on how I can make this better. If you understand this like OBS software or another software that I can get that runs better, I would love to find that and get it set up, because I want to make this accessible and something that is of quality and something worth doing. So once again, if you joined us, thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with, I guess, a karaoke song. And wow, put in an hour and a half. Remember, all thoughts in here, free use, fair use, no copyrights. All opinions expressed are just opinions. This is for entertainment purposes. I am not anyone smart. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to leave you with a karaoke song. This is Black Sun by Death Cab for Cutie. There is whiskey in the water, and there is death upon the vine. There is fear in the eyes of your father, and there is yours and there is mine. There is a desert veiled in pavement, and there's a city of 7 hills, and all our debris flows through the oceans to meet again. I hope it will. How could something so fair be so cruel when this black sun revolved around you? There is an answer in a question, and there is hope within despair. There is beauty in a failure, and there are depths beyond despair. There is a role of a lifetime, There's a song yet to be sung, and there's a dumpster in the driveway of all the plans that came undone. But how could something so fair be so cruel? And when this black sun revolved around you, but how could something so fair be so cruel? But when this black sun revolved around you, there is whiskey in the water, and there is death upon the vine. There is grace within forgiveness, but it's so hard for me to find. But how could something so fair be so cruel when this black sun revolved around you? But how could something so fair be so cruel when this black sun revolved around you? All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to sign off for the night. Thanks for joining the Bo No Show.